Welcome back to Parent Squad. Halloween is nearly here, and that means trick-or-treating, parties, and oh, so much candy. And if you don't want a house full of sweets, there are options, okay? So here to talk about some of those options are Riley Children's health dietitian, Taylor Parrish. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited because we did one that was kind of generally about food. We did a segment. Now we can talk specifically about Halloween because there's so much candy and stuff, and you know, we'll call it junk food. We don't want to say bad food here, but junk food. But there are plenty of ways to get in the spirit without food. So let's start talking about some of those.
Okay. So if we want to start with stuff that's not food, I like to kind of start with just getting to the spirit of Halloween. There's so much that we can do. So I think of like the 5 senses when you think of kids. They like to see stuff, touch stuff, smell stuff. So I even will change out like hand soap so it's like a pumpkin-y smell.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, or like, you know, those cheap fluffy blankets you see in the grocery store where it's like different seasons.
Yes.
So I'll usually get one, change that on the couch. I change out some of the napkins like when they have breakfast, even if it's normal breakfast food or something, changing the plate, changing the storage containers. You have like little hair ties, stuff like that. Even just putting on, you know, those classic Halloween movies. It is like great.
Yes.
Pumpkin Charlie Brown, I think is one of them, or Hocus Pocus or something.
Pocus.
Yeah, so we like to get in the spirit that way. And just other things like even salt shakers. I love these little guys. I've had them for years. They actually have no salt and pepper in them, but it's just a decoration. So these are really great like non-food items to go ahead and get in the spirit before we even consider trick-or-treating yet.
I love that because so many of our holidays are food-centric, as they should be. We don't want to change that. But here's some other options, and I've noticed that with my own dieting. It can be like, oh, I'm doing so good. Let me celebrate with food. And it's like, no. That's not necessarily what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So I love that these are awesome ideas. We just added essential oils in my house.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And so, of course, you want to try to get the non-toxic ones and all the things. But spices.
Yes.
So pumpkin spice, cinnamon, apple cider. Those are some of the spices now that I'm smelling to kind of help liven up the home.
Yeah.
So I love that.
And get in the spirit, for sure.
Okay. So let's talk trick-or-treating. If your child is going trick-or-treating, and there are some non-food and non-candy alternatives that you can hand out to kids. So are you that house on trick-or-treating?
Well, we actually live in the middle of the woods now, so no, not anymore.
Okay, but
I
you
did
would
candy.
be.
I did candy. I did candy.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Right.
You don't want to go to Taylor's house and then she's giving out toothbrushes or giving out, I don't know, whatever you would get out that's not
so
candy.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yes, so there are some of those. And the reason being is you have food allergies or, you know, with the dyes being a bigger thing this year too, and getting out of the food supply. Until they are, a lot of families prefer that. But I will say this little buddy here is like this little squiggly skeleton. We went to Great Wolf Lodge's Halloween.
I'll hold it so the camera can get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my son only cared about that enough so that I asked them for another one when we left. But you know, things like that, like the little. Oh, sorry, he'll.
But
put it
it's
back
like
down.
a little. Yeah, it's a little. Just so maybe the audience can see. It's like a little.
It's a clear, glow in the dark little skeleton squishy
it glows
guy.
in the dark.
Yeah, you can like throw it at the wall, throw it on the ceiling. Multiple times we had to go get off the ceiling.
Kid thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple times we had to get it off the ceiling.
But they're just as cheap to go and buy this stuff. Stickers. When we were trick or treating at Brown County, they had stickers. They had glow sticks. These even. I forget what these are called, Felicia. Poppets.
Oh.
Giving those out, little gym by number things. That way they have something to do after trick-or-treating as well.
Okay.
And then just like dollar store stuff, right? Like cookie cutters, I wouldn't say you would pass that out, but like little cauldrons with necklaces, little accessories. Like those are just as cheap. You can get in bulk, whether it's at Costco or dollar store or whatever, but those are just as easy to get as well if you don't want any candy to pass out.
I love it. Okay, another thing that's gaining popularity is the Teal Pumpkin Project. So what is that?
Yeah, so the Teal Pumpkin Project, I don't know if when you guys go trick-or-treating, have you ever seen like a teal basket on someone's front porch?
No, I've only heard people talk about this.
Okay, so the idea is the Teal Pumpkin Project is for kids that have allergies. So there's top 9 allergens. And so even if you think it doesn't have, let's say, milk or gluten or something like that, and it could. And so to be safe, there are non-food items like the ones we mentioned that you could put in this bucket on your front porch. And so what's really great is you can actually be registered if you'd like. So that way people that are looking for that, they can see, okay, what does a house in our neighborhood, are they registered with the Teal Pumpkin Project? And they have great resources on their website. So I printed these off as well with ideas. They have a little skeleton guy, little pencils, spider rings, things like that. And CVS, I think maybe if I'm saying that wrong, is like sponsoring a booth in every store to have this. And then on the back, it's from the Food Allergy Research and Education. Yeah. That's who sponsors this Teal Pumpkin Project.
I love it. I love it. So it's something you have to Google, Teal Pumpkin Project. Because there's so many allergens out there. In dairy, soy, milk, fish, cheese, it's in everything.
Yeah.
Even things you think it wouldn't be in, it is there. All right, and then there's also this rule for a lot of kids. no candy while you're out. The candy has to come home to see if it passes the test.
Yes.
What's the test in your house?
Okay, so we've always done it from a safety perspective. I don't know with being, a news anchor, if you every year I feel like I see something about there was some sort of something harmful in the candy, right? Like from somebody passing it out.
That is in the news every year, and we did report this year that it's not very common at all for the amount of reporting that it gets. But when we're talking about safety for our kids, I don't think any parent wants to skip or just chance it. So
right.
What's your point?
Yeah, so that's why I always tell them first, it's for safety. I want to make sure there's nothing in there that shouldn't be. If there's any open candy, like you don't know what it's come across. If there's homemade stuff, like you don't want them eating a homemade good. You don't know how that person cooked something. And then from an allergy perspective as well, just making sure that it's safe for them to eat. So I usually will let them, if they're like, oh, I really want this piece of candy, then I'll have them show it to me and we'll just make sure it's not opened. And then they can maybe have one piece or so while they're going. But generally it's like, let's just wait till we get back. It's part of the fun, to see how many pieces you get and compare with your brothers and sisters. So
you got to.
I think from a safety perspective, that's why we say don't eat it while you're out.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And then these days you have to worry about gummies and them having marijuana in them or any other element or other drugs or something that might be in them because they are legal in some states, not in Indiana. Okay. So you also say that much of the fun is just kind of collecting and sorting, as you just mentioned, to kind of wait for kids can get home and see the amount. And I know you have siblings. Well, the kids have our siblings.
I have siblings too.
Then,
they're older.
So then they kind of compare and they kind of test it out and like, what'd you get? What'd I get?
Right.
How much did you get? Oh, I got the most.
So we always compare like who got the most.
Yeah.
And then we always categorize either ones I like, these are the ones I don't like. And then you have like chocolate versus the sweet stuff with maybe the dyes. And then a lot of the times my middle daughter will take the ones that she doesn't like or, with the dyes that she knows that we don't want her to have. And then she'll go and actually give it back out to the people coming to the door to trick or treat. So it's nice because then she has an opportunity to give back. And then she gets more enjoyment out of giving candy to other kids again than just leaving all for herself. Because my kids know even if we ate all the things, that we wouldn't go through all of that. Like there's candy we've had from a year ago, I'm sure that's still somewhere, like you never eat it all anyway. So there's different ways to get rid of the excess as well. But
once it's over, you get it out of the house. So
Correct.
what does that mean? November 1st, you're like wrapping up the candy, or maybe by like that weekend, you're like wrapping it up.
Give a few days. But no, and generally, yes. And dentists say that it is best to just, if you're going to do it, just eat a certain amount that night. And that way, like it's part of the activity, it's part of being in the spirit because, like with Christmas morning, you open presents. You don't open presents for the next week, for the next month,
That's
right?
true.
So it's part of the holiday. It's part of the celebration. And then it allows them to like enjoy it. Like instead of restricting, saying you can't have any candy, we're not doing any candy at all. It allows them to do it that day, brush their teeth, go to bed, and then it's out of the house. But there's other things you can do. Like I think at dentist's office they have where you can buy back, like they'll buy back your candy to give to like the soldiers and stuff. And then the Switch Witch is what we use at our house. Have you heard of the Switch Witch?
What's the Switch Witch?
Okay, so I have this little poem here, and this is actually from the Keto Hope Foundation because those kids on a ketogenic diet can't have the carbs and the candy. So they do something where pretty much you put all the candy that you have and then you put it on the front porch or wherever you want, and then the Switch Witch comes at night and switches out your candy for something fun that you want. So it could be Legos, it could be slime, something like that they could have instead. So that way they, even though they're getting rid of something, they get something that maybe will last a little bit longer. And that mom and dad prefer.
Yes, the Switch Witch.
Yes.
Okay, I
it's just like
love
a little poem.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, you end up giving it in.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Halloween parties are also a big thing, and you have some seasonal snacks that are really great and a little spooky, very healthy, which we love.
We like a good balanced snack, as we've talked about before. So these are on the more creative side, minus the clementine here with a little bit of a celery stick in there to be like a pumpkin, but a lot of different things you can do, even like your normal food. So let's say, for example, you have a party at school, and I've been to one like 2 years ago at my girls' school, and it was kind of painful, if I'm honest, because it was all just candy. There was nothing else. Even the snacks are like candy. So I found that you could bring in an activity and make it food as well. So you can make this skeleton out of different vegetables. And a mom had done this, and actually all the kids loved it and ended up actually trying some of the veggies, whereas before maybe they wouldn't. And it goes with those positive exposures again. So this was something fun you could do, and that way you could bring like a veggie tray, but like nobody ever eats just the raw veggies, right? So this way kids learn by playing. They have a positive exposure. And then over here you have a little sausage with croissant, like a mummy. So when you think of like all the cloths.
So cute.
And then I don't know if I can pick this up properly, but these little witch's brooms with the pretzel stick. This is mozzarella cheese.
Yes.
And then a little,
you know, buying the cheese stick anyway. And so it's like a broomstick.
Yes.
If anybody can see it.
Yep.
Like
and if it doesn't fall apart.
I know. It's okay. It's for appearances, so it looks good.
And it's very like real. Like I didn't, you know, make this look pretty for TV, so it's not going to be perfect. And then the bananas here. So just a banana with 2 little mini chocolate chips, and you can call it a banana. So kids like the different names. I like to name food to kind of go with the season we're in.
Look how cute that is.
He's great.
I love it. I love it.
And then if you want more of just like, hey, can I pack a snack? I like a good snackle box. So at Target, there was like this one for $4.99.
Oh, I
it looks
love
like a pumpkin.
this one. Okay, look everybody. I love that.
Inside.
Yeah, well, it's all separated. All the snacks are separated and in their own little container.
And all very themed. So you've got your pumpkin spice, Lesser Evil pumpkin spice popcorn
and this is
in there.
just $4.99?
Yes, just $4.99. There's a ghost too. I think the ghost is cuter.
Oh.
Little pumpkin spice energy bites. You got one of these guys in there. And then Utz brand has like pretzels shaped like pumpkins and bats. So it's another thing if you don't want like a candy alternative, you have like a snack that looks, you know, Halloweenish too.
I love it. Do you want to go through these real quick?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
So over here we have options if you do want, you know, your typical sweets, or as we'll call them, junk food, but without the dyes, since we've talked about that before, and that's like, I think the biggest concern with Halloween stuff.
Yes.
You know, I like a good sprinkle, so Trader Joe's has their Halloween sprinkles, but full disclosure, that was from last year, so I haven't been back to see if it's there, but they usually have seasonal sprinkles.
It should be something there,
Yes,
even if
yes,
it's not this
exactly.
particular kind and brand. Okay.
Yep, and then Annie's is really easy to find. If anything, like if you, let's say you have a brand you like, a lot of the times you can get the same product, but they just change the packaging to be Halloween friendly. So that's kind of what this is here. Yum Earth, it has a different variety pack of different.
Well, I'm familiar with this brand here.
Yep,
Okay.
I think we're gonna do it for my son's Halloween party. And then if you want something lower sugar, the fruit leathers are good because it's just the sugar is coming from the fruit itself. Same with if you wanted less sugar and chocolate, do dark chocolate versus milk chocolate.
Oh, yes.
And then something like a keto option, or like if sugar is your concern, Lily's is a great brand, but also Smart Sweets. They have like those gummies. Just be careful because anytime you have the gummies that are no sugar added and have those sugar alcohols, you don't want to eat a lot or your stomach will not agree with you.
Don't eat a lot or your stomach will not. Okay, I love it. So obviously she's the expert. She is going above and beyond. For the folks, the rest of us on the other side, I have noticed that on diets and things like that, it gets easier, and then I guess I'm trying to say your palate adjusts.
Oh, yes.
So you think, oh, this tastes healthy, and you're like, you want to spit it out and get it out. But once you start eating less sugar and you start eating cleaner ingredients, it becomes easier, and it doesn't necessarily taste as healthy. It just tastes different.
Right, or like these are normal things that you would eat a banana. Just make it look more festive by adding little chocolate chip eyes or something, or putting this, you know, so you can use normal things as well and just
We
make
hope you will eat a banana.
Yes. True, okay.
Taylor, this is great. This is great. I just want to make sure we're talking to everybody
you're
here.
right.
Because for some people, this might seem like above their head, but you know, it's baby steps. Any way you can get more fruits and vegetables, even if you switch out the hummus for your favorite salad dressing. I mean, any way you can just do a little bit better is what we're trying to do, and the ideas that we're trying to share. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
We love when you come. We hope you'll come back.
I love coming. I will.
Because now we got to do Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Now we got to talk about Thanksgiving food, all these food holidays. Now we got to talk about Christmas food. Okay. So we got it on the calendar.
All right, got it.
Okay, we have more at WTHR.com/Parent Squad. Still to come, the movies to the backyard. The City Moms joins us to create the perfect outdoor theater for fall viewing with the family. We'll be right back.